Consumers beware, there is a new identity theft threat out there tonight, and it used something that you probably rely on every day. We all know what a blessing caller ID can be. You see a name or number you don't want to deal with, and you ignore the call. But now crooks have figured out how to fool your caller ID and can display any name they want. Imagine thinking you're getting a call from the police. Well, you'd probably answer that one, and then you'd be ripe to be ripped off. And today, Congress took up the question of how to crack down on caller ID scams. Sharpshooters surround an apartment building in New Brunswick, New Jersey. Police respond to a desperate call from a woman who says she's being held hostage. A SWAT team shuts down the entire neighborhood. But it was all a hoax. Pranksters had fooled the authorities by faking the number on caller ID. ID spoofing allows a caller to alter the name and phone number that appears on the caller ID display of the person they're calling.
The Commission is deeply concerned about reports that caller ID information is being manipulated for fraudulent or deceptive purposes.
Senators in the Commerce, Science, and Transportation Committee held a full hearing today on the topic of ID spoofing in a push for new laws to protect consumers.
Caller ID spoofing is a key tool in identity theft efforts by criminals. The Federal Trade Commission reports that 10 million individuals are victims of identity theft each year, and identity theft is the #1 consumer complaint.
The possibilities are endless. Fake a call from a credit card company, a local courthouse, even the White House. A thief might spoof the number of your bank and even trick you into giving away sensitive financial information.
I think you have to look at this as telephone phishing. And it starts with the banks. Please give me your number. We have a problem with our computer system, and I need this. So those kinds of things are what we're starting to see.
Dozens of websites make it easy to do. Some are free. Others require the purchase of a calling card. Some even have features to mask your voice or record the call.
You punch in your real number, the number you're calling, and then the number you want it to appear to be from, the fake number. So my phone's ringing here. I'll pick it up. Tells me I'm being connected, but look here.
So it says, call from the White House.
Yep. Not from my BlackBerry. And as you can tell, I'm not George Bush.
So the bottom line is, the caller ID system is nothing more than the honor system, and you can pretend to be anybody you want.
Exactly. It's no more trustworthy than the return address on an envelope.
Well, my next guests happen to be victims of a vicious caller ID spoof. Beverly Alderfer and her daughter Becky join me now from Philadelphia. Welcome. So Becky, you got to help us understand what happened that night. You were home asleep, you get a call on your cell phone, and you read the number, and it reads as your own home phone number. What did the caller say to you?
He told me he was in my house and he was watching me sleep. So I just hung up on him, thinking it was my brother or my dad fooling around.
But you were scared enough then that you went to your mother and you said, hey, I just got the call. This is pretty darn creepy. And someone calling from inside our house is telling me they're watching me sleep. So, Beverly, were you nervous about this?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what went through your mind?
Well, we did think someone was in our home, and they called her twice before she called me on my cell phone number to see if we were doing anything, and we were sleeping on the couch.
Did it get bad enough where you thought that your lives might have been at stake?
Well, we told her to come down to us, and we did call the police, and they searched our house, but yes.
And as it turned out, Becky, no one was in your house, and it ends up that one of the perpetrators of this scary night in your home happened to be a friend of yours. How did she pull this off?
They went online and bought a card called a spoof card. And it was somebody who I used to be friends with who I haven't had contact with for about a year.
So she was just trying to shake you up? Or she thought it was pretty funny?
I guess she thought it was funny, but I didn't think it was too funny.
And Beverly, what's going to happen in terms of punishment to this young girl who did this terrible thing?
Well, we don't know yet. It still has to go to court.
And what do you want other families out there to know every time they pick up their cell phone or their home phone and they see a number displayed? Would you ever believe that again? Would you ever believe a real person is calling you that is read out on the screen?
Well, you never know who it could be, I guess.
How about you, Beverly?
Yeah, we were very scared.
And of course, Congress recognizes that a lot of American families could live in with the same kind of terror as you do. And even though this is considered legal at this stage, there are people that would like to ban the use of this practice altogether. How would you feel about that, Beverly?
I think that would be a good idea. I can't see anything good about this card.
Well, you've got a lot of company on that end. Beverly and Becky Alderfer, thank you so much for your time. And
You're welcome.
In spite of the fact that this was a prank gone awry, I guess you consider yourselves pretty darn lucky. All right, we're going to move on to another topic now. A prominent columnist is getting death threats. Why is he being targeted?